everyone, and welcome to our August online Google Hangout with the class of 2020 and new transfer students. You're moving in next month, things are starting to get really real, and we are here to answer any and all of your new student questions. So the Wildcat Welcome Hangouts are something that we're going to do every month up until you get here, which is coming up. And tonight we're going to chat a little bit about move-in, what you can expect during Wildcat Welcome, and what you can expect during your first year. Just remember, you can keep submitting questions throughout this entire Hangout. You can tweet us at #WWHangout. You can message us on the Wildcat Welcome Facebook page, or you can email us at wildcatwelcome@u.northwestern.edu. Might be familiar because you have one of those emails now. So before we get started, we're going to introduce ourselves. This is our panel for the evening. I'm Alana. I'm from Los Angeles, and I'm on the board of directors representing the Medill School of Journalism and studying journalism. The other members of our panel represent every one of our 6 schools and our transfer students. So they're going to go ahead and introduce themselves, and then we'll get to the first question.
Hi, everybody. My name's Alan. I'm originally from the Chicago area, but I've lived in China as well. I'm on the board of directors representing transfer students. I'm studying neuroscience and philosophy in Weinberg, and I'm a rising senior, so class of 2017. This summer I've been doing research, and I'm studying for the MCAT.
Hi everyone, I'm Mariana. I'm an international student from El Salvador. I'm a rising junior in Medill, so I'm up in Medill, PA. Journalism is our only major, so I'm a journalism major. And this summer I've been working at the Medill office for marketing. And I've also been doing some freelancing for the Chicago Tribune.
I'm from San Francisco, California. I'm going to be a second-year peer advisor, rising junior. I am an economic major in Weinberg, and I'm currently in Vegas, road tripping back from Colorado, where I was interning at Dance Festival this summer. So, lots of fun.
I'm Rachel. Hi, everybody. I'm from the Detroit area, specifically Royal Oak, Michigan. I'm a peer advisor, second year returning. I'm a theater major in the School of Communication. I'm class of 2018, and I'm currently in Hawaii having a nice little vacation.
Hey everyone, I'm Jamil. I am from Dingman's Ferry, Pennsylvania. I am a first year PA rising junior. So class of 2018, majoring in social policy in CESP, and I am currently home for the summer, just working, hanging out.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm a second-year PA, so a returner, and a rising junior in McCormick. I'm an industrial engineering major, and I'm currently in Evanston, teaching a coding and technology class and camp for first year 8th graders.
Landon, you're on mute.
I don't think his microphone is working.
Well, that's Landon. He's from the Bean School of Music. He's a rising senior, and he will be answering your questions when he gets his sound back, which will be soon, I'm sure. So I'm going to get started with the questions. He's going to get started with the technology. It's going to be great. The first question is from Grace. She says, because Northwestern students typically take 3 or 4 courses a quarter, as opposed to other colleges who take maybe 5 or 6 courses a semester, how many hours of class time can freshmen expect each week? Does it vary on how much that you have, or does it matter until you sign up? So Amanda, I think you can take this one.
Sure. So, hi Grace. I took 4 courses my first quarter at Northwestern, and it really, this isn't probably the answer you're looking for, but it really just depends. It depends on like what classes you're taking, and sometimes the work for that class could vary from week to week, or the work would vary from class to class. I took a design course that was more just a lot of work in the class itself, but took a lot of classes that had problem sets that were a couple hours each week. So depends what kinds of classes you're taking. Obviously, my experience is from the McCormick School of Engineering perspective, but I will say I definitely had a lot of homework, but you are able to balance it with other things.
So I like transferred from a semester school, and my old school, I took 5 classes a semester, and after coming here, I've basically taken 4 classes a quarter for basically every quarter that I've been here, and I think that's pretty common for most Weinberg students. Um, some people will be taking labs, which count for like a third of a credit, so you'll have some like variation there, but for the most part, 4 is pretty typical.
Yeah, so when I actually started, I was a bio major in Weinberg, so I was enrolled in 4 classes, and although it doesn't seem like that much, the course load was like very. I was in like chemistry, and chem has labs, so that was like essentially like a 5th class. That was like very long, and then like a lot of the work took a lot of time throughout the week. But then again, I was also in like other classes that were like very reading heavy, and like that might not take as much time if you can like skim or I don't know. It really just like depends on what classes you're in and like um, how interested you are in them. I guess.
Yeah, great. Thank you, guys. Our next question comes from Sam. A lot of my friends are leaving for school now. What did you do in all the weeks before you got to Northwestern to get ready? I'm going to be so bored.
Oh my
Preach.
So hi Sam, I'll get that one for you. So yeah, my friends left like a good month before I did, which was kind of sad at first, but then I just like realized I had all this time to like do all the things I did not do over the summer because I was like hanging out with them, or just to prepping for college in general. I actually found my favorite TV show ever, Mad Men, during that month, so I just like binge watched that. I also used that month to read the One Book One Northwestern because I hadn't done that all summer. It's just like a great time to like prepare to spend some time with yourself and just like get to know you're about to do through like this huge transition that you just like you deserve to be with yourself a little bit before you like make this jump into college. So I recommend go out and like get used to being by yourself. It's like kind of fun. Go out, try new restaurants, go watch a new show, read the book. It's a really good book. This year's One Book One Northwestern. Hang out with your parents or family members because you're not going to see them for a while. So there's a lot of things you can do by yourself that don't include your friends. Because trust me, you're going to be surrounded by friends or people that are your age for the next 4 years. So this is the one time you have to like hold on to yourself for a little bit before you come here for 4 years. So a lot of things to do.
Yeah, I would add to that I think it's a really great time to just kind of think about what your goals are too. I mean, it can be a little bit overwhelming thinking about transitioning into this new space and this new place and like, being a college student, it's kind of crazy. And so it'll be nice to have that little space of time to think about what you want to get out of it. Maybe think about things that you want to try because it's nice to come in not necessarily having a plan because nobody's plans ever actually transition the exact way they are, and I think that that's a great thing, but maybe just to think about what you want to get out of it and maybe figure out what your priorities are so that when you come into Northwestern, you know what you want to get out of it and maybe think about what kind of friends you want to have or the type of activities you're interested in.
Yeah, that's all really, really good advice. I wish I'd taken a little bit more of it. This next question is perfect for Ben. There is a lot of election stuff happening right now. Are there any places to register to vote once I get to campus? That's from Erica. That's a great question. Ben, if you're ready to take that.
Yeah. Sorry, unmuting. So yeah, there are actually. I'm registered to vote in California. I know a lot of people register to vote out of state, but there are registration tables actually when you check in during Wildcat Welcome. So they make it super easy for you, and then if you do end up missing that, there are plenty of opportunities to register online, there'll be places probably around Evanston, but definitely check out the desks on move-in day. That'll make it pretty simple and fast.
The one thing that I would add too, and I've been working on a Senate campaign all summer, so politics is very relevant to my life, is that if you do plan on voting in your home state, you either need to send in a form to vote by mail, or when you get your voter sample ballot, you can return it and request a voter by mail. But you have to make sure that you put something in to your government to make sure that they know that you will be voting by mail if you want to get your vote to count, which obviously is very important. So,
and one last thing, sorry. Also, if it was your first time voting absentee, if you're intending on voting absentee the first time, each state has a different plan for it. And for my state, you have to sign something in state before you leave so that you can vote absentee for the first time. So just make sure that if that's something you want to do, that you do it before you leave the state.
Perfect. Thank you so much for adding that. We've been getting a lot of questions about voting, so this is great. This question is for Alan. It is about transfers. What was the biggest change transitioning from another college to Northwestern? And what was your favorite or least favorite thing about Northwestern once you got here? That's from Miranda.
So I can answer the first one, but I think the second one is also, like, other people can chime in as well. For me, transitioning from another college, I think the hardest thing was sort of like having to leave all the connections that I had in my previous school, and kind of having to sort of realize that I had to start over and sort of be a freshman again in certain ways. And so there was like a lot of like sort of reconciliation of like what I wanted to do with my like college experience that went into that. In terms of favorite / least favorite thing about Northwestern, Northwestern has like an incredibly like intellectual environment, or at least like in comparison to like my previous school, I found that it was a lot more of like what I wanted. And in terms of least favorite, that's really hard. I don't know. Campus is really long. This is like a really trivial thing. Campus is like really long north to south, and so I like a lot of like the science classes that I take are like on North Campus, but last year I lived on South Campus, and so like having to walk the 15 minutes from my dorm to my science classes like every day was like a little bit annoying. So I would recommend a bike, but yeah, it's not that long.
I also transferred to Northwestern from another institution, and for me, what was challenging was like feeling like a freshman because I didn't know Northwestern's campus and I didn't know the culture and I didn't know the people, but also feeling like a sophomore and like, okay, I've lived away from home for a year. I know how to study for college classes. I know how to like be in this college environment and be independent. So finding that balance was a little bit of a struggle, but I've not once regretted transferring, and hopefully you won't either. And Northwestern's been great. But we're ready for our next question. This is for Landon. I really love the saxophone. Kenny G inspires me. He inspires us all. What are some opportunities for non-majors? That's from Elizabeth. Is Landon available to answer that right now? It looks like no. Does anyone else feel inspired by Kenny G or know anything about performing for non-majors?
I can help you.
Perfect. Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah, great. So there are a couple of different groups, and there's going to be a lot more information about this once you get here, and you'll be able to talk about them. Obviously, marching band is something that's an option, but chances are you probably already know if you're interested in that or not. Other things, there are a lot of different, like, both choral groups, but also, like, instrumental groups that you can either audition into or contact the person that's involved in them, and I think that Beanon probably has a lot of that on its website.
Great, thank you. I think there are a lot of opportunities to get involved in all different types of campus activities, regardless of your major. So this next question is for Amanda. What was the best thing you brought for your residence hall? That's coming from Ben.
One piece of advice I got for something that I didn't think of to bring to my res hall was a drying rack, actually. Depending on your laundry room situation, sometimes there's a long line, or sometimes you just like have stuff that you don't want to throw in the dryer. So for me, that was just something I hadn't thought of that I was able to pick up at TJ Maxx in Evanston on move-in day, and that was really helpful.
One thing that was really good that I brought was like an extension cord or like a power surge cord thing that lets you plug in multiple things at once. Because it's super great to not have just like 2 outlet plugs for everything that you have to charge or plug in your one room. So I definitely suggest getting an extension cord or something that you can plug multiple things in.
I also recommend getting a humidifier because it can get a little dry, especially if you come from a very humid place like me. I would get some nosebleeds at the beginning, and then I got a humidifier, and I was fine. So if you need humidity, get a humidifier. They're great.
They're especially good if you're getting sick.
I guess I would add on a lot of like toiletries, like soap and shampoo and conditioner, because it just gets like really annoying to like have to go and buy those in Evanston, especially if it's like snowing outside, if it's like really cold. And the C stores are just like kind of pretty alright.
Yeah, I would also add in, don't be afraid to go all out. My roommate and I weirdly coordinated on our sheets. We bought the same comforter, and it was an amazing conversation starter. People love to come in our room. We coordinated on. We had like some cool flags, one from each state, and just like lots of posters on the wall, and made it like feel a lot more like home. A lot of people like to come in and just hang out in the room. So highly recommend that.
So matching sheets, lots of toiletries. You guys are going to be great.
Matching throw pillows as well.
Oh my God, so much coordination coming from Ben tonight. The next question is coming from Jack. I'm already starting to hear from friends at other schools that they're making friends. How did you make your first friends and meet people in your first year? Anybody? Maybe Mariana? And then,
are we live now?
yeah, we're live.
Thank goodness. Okay, hi everyone. So I think one of the most wonderful things about my first year at Northwestern is that there were so many avenues for me to make friends with people. So obviously Wildcat Welcome was huge for me, and I had a very close-knit group. I had a great relationship with my peer advisor, and a lot of the people that I met through my PA group have gone on to be some of my best friends at Northwestern. But beyond that, the residence halls are also a really amazing opportunity for you to meet people in your community and build communities around those spaces. So I lived at 1835 Hinman my freshman year, and that was a very cool space to live in because of the way that the floors were set up. There was a lot of opportunity for interaction with my floor mates. And even though it took me a while to like start interacting with people on my floor because I had come in with so many friends from Wildcat Welcome. I found that like it was really nice to have people to come home to at the end of the day, and that I could like rehash my day with and like have a slice of cake with, and random things like that. So investing in relationships in multiple spaces as you encounter them, I think, is a really valuable piece of advice.
So I actually made my 3 best friends at Northwestern to Wildcat Welcome. We were all in the same PA group, so I think I was really scared coming in because I was an international student. I was like unsure about how like my English would work or like that kind of stuff that international students are worried about. And I kind of was put in this group with these like 3 to 4 amazing people that I can't imagine my life without now. So like. You will be put into a group in Wildcat Welcome, and like you never know who in that group might be your best friend forever. So I think once you get here and you meet these people, you really never know what relationships you're gonna form. So like, my recommendation is like stay positive and stay like in tune with your group and like participate and be open to talk with them and like keep a positive mentality to Wildcat Welcome because you never know how you might meet your best friend. I also met a lot of friends through my student organization because we spent a lot of time together. So like, Ultimately, you might just end up being friends with a lot of people with similar interests to you, just depending on what groups you join. So yeah, my recommendation is just like stay open, be positive, and just like never know when you're gonna meet your next best friend.
Yeah, for me, my PA group gave me a lot of like good connections with people and like nice friends, but I wasn't particularly close with any of them. Once it ended, like we weren't hanging out with each other so much. None of them like, well, one of them lived in my dorm and we hung out a fair amount. But I think for me, one of the best ways that I made some friends early on was like just asking people if I could sit down with them in the dining halls, just being like, oh, hey, can I sit here? Oh, I'm Rachel. What's your name? And then just like meeting people. I mean, the more people you meet, it's a little overwhelming, yeah, because there's a lot of new faces, but at the same time, it's kind of great because you have such a huge pool of people that you could become friends with, that once you start clicking with people, you'll know, and it will happen.
And yeah, to add on to what Mariana said about like student organizations and getting out there and trying new things, don't be afraid to like get out there and try something, even if you have no intention of actually doing it long term. I had no intention of joining club soccer, but I tried out for club soccer anyway because I played soccer in high school, and I was able to meet a couple of good friends through that. I wasn't really a dancer or much into cardio in high school, but I tried dance marathon, really loved that. And so I think there's just lots of great organizations that like you'll have the activities fair, the clubs fair that you can check out different organizations. And sometimes your roommate will just say, hey, do you want to come with me to this? Don't be afraid to try everything out, and also don't be afraid to try something out, not like it, and then not continue with it because you only have so much time in a day. But definitely get out there and know the things you love and keep trying those.
And I would also say, like, these next couple weeks are going to be hard, in part because your friends are going to be Instagramming and posting photos on Facebook of pictures of with all their new friends, and it kind of sometimes feels like if you don't make those same friends in your first week, like you're doing something wrong. For me, it was important to remember that like the way people look on social media is not always the way they actually feel. No one's posting like, wow, I had a really bad day today. Like, I'm very homesick and I have no friends. So just keep in mind that if you don't have friends your first day, but your friends on Instagram do, might not be real. Like, there's no pressure. Moving on to the next question. This is from Rachel. It's for Rachel. Whew. Hi everyone. How did you cope with homesickness, if you had it at all? That's from Victoria. Thank you for asking that, Victoria.
Hi, Victoria. Yeah, I was definitely homesick. And it can be a little bit overwhelming being in a new place with a ton of new people, especially if a lot of my friends, for example, all went to the state school and I didn't. And so I came in and I didn't know very many people. And yeah, it was a little bit hard to be in this new place with, no real connections yet. I think the best way that I did it was I called my parents or whoever it is. Maybe it's a family member or maybe it's friends that you had from home who are now at other colleges. Like I texted some of my close friends and I was like, what's going on with you? And some of them were homesick too. Just because there's like a social media presence with a bunch of people being like, whoa, orientation is awesome, or like Wildcat welcome, go Cats, doesn't mean that everybody's not feeling that too. And definitely I was like feeling kind of alone until I talked to my roommate and I talked to my parents and I was like, I really miss you, or I really miss my parents, and she was like, me too. And we were able to bond over that, and I think that knowing that you're not alone in that and that everybody else is kind of looking for their new home at Northwestern makes it a lot easier. Just talk to people.
For me, I was a little homesick at first because I was so far away from home, like international flight away from home. And what I did was just like I brought food from home. Like in El Salvador, we eat pupusas. I just bought like frozen pupusas and brought them here, and we'd eat that like whenever I got really sad or whenever I was like I need something from El Salvador. I also brought a flag from my country and put it on my wall just to remind myself like this is where I'm from and this is what I miss and I will be back there soon. And yes, as Rachel said, just like keep contact with your friends. You can just Skype them, FaceTime them. That always helps. And the other thing I have for international students, like I didn't have this because I was the only international student from El Salvador at the time, but it's just like there's a lot of groups for international students from like the same country. If there's a lot of representation of your country here, you can hang out with them. I'm really excited. I'm going to give a special shout out to the 2 Salvadorans coming to Northwestern this year. Salvadoran number 2 and Salvadoran number 3. I'm so excited to see you guys here because now it's going to be all of us. But yeah, you bring a little bit of home with you, and that will help you out through the first month. Yeah.
And I can jump in on that too, because I still feel homesick sometimes even. I have like a really big family that I miss a lot, and Skyping is awesome and very helpful. And I think it's important to remember that everyone feels homesick at some point, or a lot of people do, and that you're not alone in feeling that way. So I would encourage you to really try to get involved and really embrace where you are being at this new school, this new culture. But it's not a bad thing to miss home either. And also, your PA is with you for the entirety of that first year experience. We want to be a resource for you and help you and be there for you. So it's totally okay. It's totally normal. But hopefully you won't feel that way too long.
Yeah, whoa. That was a great answer, so thank you. This next question is for, I guess, anyone. I love icebreakers, so I would like to know what kind of pasta everyone identifies as. That's from Isabel.
Wow.
Anyone? Anyone feeling carby?
Yeah. I'm definitely a rigatoni. Love that spiral curl thing happening. So yeah, rigatoni all the way.
I consider myself more of a bow-tie person, personally, and maybe that just comes from my love of dressing up fancy in general, but, you know, they say you are what you eat, right?
I'd have to go with the shell from Annie's mac and cheese, because like Landon said, you are what you eat. So.
I would say I'm a ravioli because I like cheese, and I'm usually full of cheese, which is good.
Well, I'm not pasta, I'm bread. I don't like pasta, doesn't do it for me. Just like a giant loaf of bread.
I feel like not liking pasta is like sacrilege.
Okay.
I would be linguine because I am flat. I tried.
I would also just like to add that we're accepting of all pasta types on this campus, and don't feel like if you're not a pasta that Alan will judge you. No one will judge you. Judge me, but no one else. Jamil? Pasta?
Yeah. What kind of pasta am I? Let's see. I'm gonna have to go with you on this one. Like, I'm not really a big pasta fan. I do love bread though. Maybe rice. I don't know.
I like rice. Rice-a-roni, perhaps. Okay, this is a more serious question. This is about transferring again. What is the registration process like during your transfer experience? I know that a lot of transfers are going through that now. And when the freshmen are going through their registration during Wildcat Welcome, what are transfers doing? Are we sitting around in our dorms? Like, what's up? Alan.
I can answer that. So the great thing about transferring, of many things that are great about transferring, is that you get to register over the summer, while first years are registering for their classes during Wildcat Welcome. So you do get to get your classes in a little bit earlier, and so you don't have to really deal with that stress while Wildcat Welcome is going on. So while all the freshmen are registering, There's a lot of like transfer-specific events during Wildcat Welcome as well, like including a trip to Chicago. So we've got a lot of cool stuff planned for transfer students as well. So look forward to that.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun and special things to do for transfers during Wildcat Welcome. So look out for that. This next question is for everybody. What are you most looking forward to this fall quarter, which is starting so soon? Take it away, anyone.
I'll go. So I am super, super excited for Wildcat Welcome for obvious reasons. I'm also really excited to see my friends again. They're all doing internships and fun things, and it'll be nice to catch up. I'm also super excited for my classes, which sounds like kind of nerdy, but I love it. I'm taking some really cool classes, and I'm excited to be a senior. It's really scary, but it should be good.
I'm excited to meet all of you, the general you public, both the students that I will have in my PA group, which I'm super excited about, woo, but also all the new students, transfers and freshmen and all of that fun stuff. I can't wait to meet you all, and I can't wait to see how NU changes. As I said, I'm a theater student, and I can't wait to see what happens in the theater scene on campus, what new students bring, and what current students are making right now.
So I'm super excited to just be back in Chicago, being with friends like for the football games, and classes as well, I guess.
I'm super excited to meet all of my PA students. I've been chatting with a lot of them, and I know they're a really excited group, so I'm really excited to meet them. I'm also excited to see my friends again. We have all been in different places in the last 2 quarters, so this is one quarter where most of us are going to be together again, and we're all moving off campus in the same building, so it's going to be great. And I'm also taking all Medill classes this quarter, so I'm really excited because I love Medill. So it's going to be great to be in Medill all the time. So yeah, I'm really excited to see my friends again, meet my PA group. I'll just be in Northwestern again. Also, football season. Football season is amazing. So get ready for that.
Yeah, no, I'd also say I'm pretty excited to see friends, pretty excited for classes. I'm taking econ classes, so for an econ major. Football season also. Get to put on my purple suit again, and games are so much fun. It's just like a completely different atmosphere in the fall. It's like it's like one of those times everyone just feels super excited to be at Northwestern, and the football team's hopefully pretty good this year. So yeah.
I guess I would say I'm very excited to start exploring Chicago a little more. I'm taking a little bit of easier classes now that I'm a senior, and I'm hoping to spend some more time in the city. And I think that was our last question. So thank you guys all for tuning in. I hope that this was helpful for you. If any of your friends wanted to watch it later, if your mom's really curious, if you're like a next door neighbor wants to know what you're going to be experiencing this fall, you should go to our website, bit.ly/WW Hangout, which is the same website you would have come to get here, and we'll have a recording of this whole Hangout so you can watch it back, you can make it your screensaver. We just want to be helpful. We're so excited to see you next month. If you have more questions, you can, of course, email us, Facebook message us, tweet at us. We are always checking and we are always responding. But have a good rest of your night. Thank you to our terrific and wonderful panel. They will see you all in September. I will see you in September. Until then, have a good rest of your summer. Bye, guys.